Hello, today we are talking about sales. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to dig into this. I am actually pulling some content out of my private training program to share with you. So this is normally content, I'll be honest, that people pay over $3,500 to access, and you are getting complimentary access to this today. It is what I call designing your no-brainer offers. No-brainer offers. So no matter what kind of business you have, whether it's an online business, whether it's a brick and mortar, whether it's a service, it doesn't matter whether you're a real estate agent or you're an insurance rep agent, or maybe you're a fitness trainer, or you could be doing online courses, or maybe like the example we used yesterday, maybe you teach music and you teach guitar lessons. It doesn't matter what business you have. If you do not have paying customers who are buying your product, your business is going to go belly up, right? Belly up. So I want you to think about this as we walk through this content today. And how do you know if you can really take this content, if this content is going to be valuable and helpful to you? Well, here are the signs. If you're out there and you feel like you are working way too hard to have the money you are earning coming in, or if you have an online business and you're putting content out there everywhere and nothing's bringing in sales, or even bringing in new leads, meaning you don't have new people that are paying attention to what you're doing, or if you have people who have been hanging around online, or maybe they're acquaintances that you know out there in the world, but none of them have actually said, "Hey, I would love to work with you. I want what you have." Why? What are the reasons why that is not happening? So we're going to dig into a little bit of, frankly, sales psychology, what makes people buy, and we're going to pull it apart and go even deeper than that. And we're going to talk about how you design an offer that's going to compel people to purchase, where they instantly know right away, oh my gosh, that's me. This is exactly what I need. Boom, here, take my credit card. They're like throwing it at you like, I need this right now. That's the kind of energy that we want people to have when they connect with us and see that we have something that can help them, right? We don't want them to hem and haw. We don't want the excuses of, well, I just don't know if I have time for that, or I don't have the money for that. If you're hearing those kinds of excuses, that means that we have not done our job as the entrepreneur, as the business person who's laying it out in front of our customer. We really haven't done our job and showed them all the reasons why this is the perfect solution for them. That's on us. That's our job. So it would be so much better if we didn't have that issue, right? If we didn't have to deal with that. But the fact is, sales psychology affects everyone because we're talking about how the human mind is wired, how we process information, how we think, how we make decisions. We have to understand all of that. When you understand all of that, it is so much easier to sell. Salespeople who understand the science, I call it, behind sales have a 60% better sales rate, closure rate, than those who don't know this information. And that's what you're going to learn today. Woo! We're talking powerful, powerful. So before we dig into that, for those of you who don't know me, if we have not met, my name is Shauna St. James. I am the founder of Encore Abundance. I started my business, well over 10 years ago as a professional artist. I started an art business, and I mastered the ability to sell art. And about I guess it's about 5 years ago, I shifted that business to where I was online, and I have been helping other creatives, makers, online entrepreneurs build their empires, their online empires, so that they can have a sustainable business that lets them thrive. I say, let's thrive, not just survive. So, in the past 5 years, I've helped over 5,000 people have the income that they want, increase their sales, reduce their workload and stress and anxiety. And we do that by making sure that you have the property strategies, really good, tight systems in line, tools and automations, skills, and that very core foundation mindset. Because we have to have the mindset of a CEO executive. We can't go in with the mindset as an employee if we don't if we don't know how to make decisions and build out the strategies and the systems from a CEO level, then we're not going to have the success that is available, that's out there waiting for us. And that's where I want you to go. That's what I want for you. I can't wait for you to have that. Okay, let me make sure that my camera is all set here. All right, so here's what I want you to envision. No matter what kind of business you have right now, let's say you're working the 9 to 5, or maybe you're like me and I am, a 50 plus mom, an empty nester now, and I am looking at retirement, quote, retirement age that feels like it's coming really fast. I don't like the feeling of getting older and not being prepared, not being financially prepared. And I'm being quite honest here. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm on my way, but I did not picture my life right now at this point in time where I am. This is not where I expected to be at this point in time. How many of you have experienced that? Whatever's going on in your life right now, when you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, no, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I dreamed for myself. I still have dreams that are frankly unfulfilled. And if you're in a position where you financially cannot live those out, it feels horrible. You feel like you're kind of letting yourself down, like you're disappointing yourself by not being financially prepared for the future at this point in time, right? Here's the good news, there is still time. It is not too late. It is not too late to change that, even starting this summer. We're not talking 5 years down the road. We're talking right now, you can turn that around. I frankly have invested in a business that I do online. It's proven, it has a proven blueprint. If you're looking for an option to be able to change your financial future quickly, the online space, the digital space, is predicted to be $1 trillion a day industry. We were at $1 billion a day, like in COVID era, like 2020, and now we're at $3 billion a day. The growth, perspective, the room to get in this line of business and be able to be profitable at it with the least amount of work. You don't have to have a huge investment startup. You don't have to have a big startup capital. It's 100% profit. You're not doing some of these other jobs out there that are like affiliate marketing, or, there are a lot of other opportunities out there where you can work online and you're selling someone else's product, but you're only making a small percentage of that. And the number of hours you have to work to be able to make 6 figures is ridiculous. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to work 8 to 10 hours each day, just to make my 6 figures, right? Now, honestly, there are a lot of jobs out there that I've looked at where, they're going to pay me $35,000 a year to help close titles for people who are buying homes, and I'm working 8 to 10 hours a day. Wow, you can't get anywhere with that, right? You just can't get anywhere with that. Whatever your situation is financially, it doesn't matter what job you're in. If you don't have that nest egg built to where you're even just going to be able to feel secure, this is how you can change it with an online digital business. Super easy to get up and running. You don't have to have any tech skills like I did, right? My online business, when I started it 5 years ago, it was a little over 5 years ago. Really, it was 2014 when I had my first website built and I was online and I was, selling my art and, transitioning over into a service-based consulting course type programs where I was building courses and had places, had memberships and all of these things. Oh my gosh, there is so much of an easier way to do it right now. And I wish that I had known that back when I started. But here's the good news, you don't have to make that mistake. You do not have to do it the hard way. Just going to say that. If you want more information about that, more details on everything that you can have that will get your online business up and running like that. Everything, all the strategies, all the systems, all the automations, everything comes in one package. It's just an unbelievable opportunity. I want you to put info in the comments and I will be connecting with you and make sure that you get a copy of the blueprint that we are using. Really, frankly, thousands of hundreds of people are using, earning six figures and more, using this blueprint and all the training and all the setup that comes with it. Okay, enough of that. We'll get on that. I'm going to say one more thing though. What if you were making $900 a day automated? Automated. You only work 2 hours a day. You're getting paid 9 hours a day. And it might be when you're sitting at the pool or you're out to brunch with the kids, right? Or the grandkids. Or you could be on the plane headed to go see one of your friends or flying to Hawaii. Ding, you get paid. That is the kind of business that you can have with an online digital business. That's what we're talking about. That's the opportunity. $900 a day, that's $328,000 a year, guys. And when you learn the 2 hour workday system that comes with this digital online business that I'm talking about, literally, they teach you everything you need to know. And you can do everything you need to be able to make your $900 a day in 2 hours a day once you understand it and are able to implement it. That's the kind of opportunity. Okay, but let's dig in here. I want to talk about no-brainer offers. And like I said, I am pulling this content out from inside of my program. This program was designed at this time for artists. But here's the thing, this works for any business. If you decide that you want help with anything that we're covering today, then of course we're going to take everything that we're doing today or anything that we've done here on this channel, and we're going to customize it and tailor it for you, your business, your customer, your needs, your personality, right? Because the way you talk is different than the way I would talk or anyone else. And we want to make sure that when you're out there marketing your product, it represents you, your brand, your values, everything you stand for. So with that said, let's dig in here. Let's just go to here. All right. Hopefully you can see this. I'm not going to go ahead and put it in presentation mode, but hopefully this is large enough for you guys to see. I think it is. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. This is part of my Summit Seekers and Trailblazers program. Like I said, I'm pulling this straight out of my library. This is part of my masterclass series. This is masterclass number 7, and we are going to dig into how to design a no-brainer offer. This is the framework that if you work with me, we walk through. We want to understand our identity as who we are as the person who is making our offer, but we also need to understand the four different identities that our customers show up as. We need to know how to connect and engage. We need to know how to convert sales. So here we are digging into this topper level, the conversion framework. And of course, this is our summit, right? We always talk about what's in our summit, what's in our backpack to reach the summit. So you are getting an inside peek here of where we are working inside this system. I always like to start with a reset. I want you to really block out everything else that's going on in your day. I want you to focus on what is being given to you here and be open-minded about how this content can help you move your business forward. How can this work for you? Whatever context of business you're in. So I want you to settle down, relax, take a few minutes for yourself. That's really going to help increase your profits and impact your life in a bigger way. This is about more than just bringing money in. This is about creating the life that you want. That's what we want to talk about. Okay, so let's go in with, would it be helpful if you left today's training with, this is what's going to happen inside this masterclass, you guys. You're going to get 4 truth to bomb sales statistics so you know what to expect when you're making offers out there in the marketplace. We're going to do one, it's called a no reframe, so you can stay positive no matter what's going on, no matter how many no's you receive, right? That's the beauty of having this particular online business that we're talking about. It's rejection free. But let's say you do have a business right now where you are constantly out there dealing with no's. We're gonna reframe that for you. And we're going to talk about the neuroscience between how the human brain processes decisions so you can give your customer everything they need to purchase. And you're going to walk away with 5 tactics of how to design your no-brainer offers so your customers are compelled to say yes and buy from you. And you're going to have a deep understanding of word power so you can choose the words that connect with your buyer's emotions. And you're going to get 3 offer game changers that are guaranteed to improve your offers so that you can increase your sales conversion rate and earn more moolah. How does that sound? Does that sound like a good thing? Okay, let's get real about sales. If we don't have sales, we don't have a business. And no worries, you've got this. All of the masterclass training that you're getting here is going to help you. And if you are interested in, the full masterclass course, there are 12 master classes, then let me know and we can make sure that we can help you. I would love to be able to provide that for you. All right, so let's start with some sales statistics. So here's the truth bomb. 2 buyers purchasing sales stats. So this is buyers, 2 stats. 80% of qualified prospective buyers say no at least 4 times before they say yes to an offer. These are your perfect ideal clients. And we are wired to say no, right? The neuroscience that goes on in our brain, we have to be presented with the offer multiple times or have that thought in our head multiple times before we can get the snake to give up and the otters to win, right? And for the moose to go, oh yeah, that is a good idea. Let's do it. 4 times. Almost 75% of qualified prospects say yes to the 5th offer. Now, here's the big statistic when it comes to salespeople. This is us. This is those of us who are out there making offers. This is huge. 90% of salespeople give up after they receive 4 no's. That means when you're out there and you're putting your product and your offer out there, 92% of us give up if we have someone decline our offer, reject, whatever word you want to use, say no to the offer. Only 8% of a sales force or salespeople, entrepreneurs, business owners ask for a sale on the fifth time. That's phenomenal, don't you think? I mean, only 8%. So what does that mean? Goal. Our goal is to be that 8%. The 8% of salespeople who are out there continuing to make the offer even though we've heard no. And think about that. One person says no 4 times. That's, let's say you have 20 people that, you have in your sales funnel somewhere. That's hearing 80 no's, right? So how do we get ourselves mentally prepared for that to be able to where that no longer affects us negatively? We need to be able to have a no reframe in our backpack, our toolbox, if you want to call it. But having the gear in our backpack that's going to get us to the summit, one of those things is a tool reframe, right? So, no, right? You've got to want success and reaching your dream goal badly enough to keep going through all the no's. You just do. If you're afraid of a no, if you're afraid of hearing no, or you're afraid of people not clicking the button, now maybe you're not going to hear the no verbally. Maybe somebody's not saying it to your face. Maybe it's they just ignore your emails or they unsubscribe, right? They unsubscribe, they unfollow you. If you send them a DM to connect with them, they don't answer. There are a lot of different forms of no, right? But we all know that a no does not feel like success, and it's certainly not putting money in the bank, right? So it doesn't matter what kind of no it is. You must have the resilience, the tenacity, and the persistence to be successful in sales, period. It doesn't matter how rejection free your business is, you still must have these things. So let me stop sharing here for a minute. So here's the truth. Even if you have what I call a rejection-free business, that means that you have everything set up and everything's automated, where all you have to do is kick off the front end. You get to talk about your product, you get to be excited, you get to be out there telling people how it can transform their lives, what solutions you have for people. And then once they enter your email automation, right, that's the goal. The goal is always to get that email because that is our direct connection with our prospective customer. It's called an opt-in, right? So once they opt in, is everything else automated? Meaning the next piece of content that's nurturing them is an email, and maybe it connects to a video, maybe it connects to a free download. That's not even the point. The point is, maybe you have all those systems automated behind that first opt-in. So if somebody is saying no, you don't feel it personally, but you feel it when you're out there and you're constantly creating content and you're working hard and you're not seeing the sales come through. It still feels like rejection. And that's what we need to be able to have the resilience and the tenacity and the persistence to be able to conquer. Those 3 tools, pieces of gear in our backpack, are what's going to help us get to the summit. And you will not be able to make it without those things. I'm just putting it out there. If you think that you can do it without that, you're not going to be able to. Because we are all going to have things that don't go the way we want, the way they're planned. It's not going to be the easy road. We're going to run into trail blockers going up to the summit. We got to have the resilience. And one of those trail blockers, of course, is hearing no, or just not seeing the dollars coming into the bank if you have an automated system. So let's reframe it. I want to reframe the no. No's are actually a good thing. A good thing. Here's why. Because every no means that you are one step closer to the yes. Every time you hear no, excellent, next, excellent, next. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. And yeah, it's kind of like a game. You got to kind of gamify it to make it to where it is emotionally a positive thing to hear a no. That means you're doing the work. So as you work through the no's, you'll refine your skills. You need to connect with your audience and turn them into loyal paying customers who love you in your work. This is part of a next masterclass. Objection handling is one of the master classes that is included in my program. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to be doing that one here, but I always want my people to know what's coming next, right? So here's the advantage. Here's the advantage that you can have over everybody else out there. Understanding the basics of neuroscience gives you a mass advantage in the marketplace for whatever it is you're offering. Anyone who doesn't understand the power of sales psychology, that's the neuroscience, is going to continue to struggle with sales, but you will have the tools and tactics, right, to steadily increase your closing rate and earn more. It's going to be easier for you to sell when you understand this. So let's start with understanding the power of words. Let's learn about how words can affect our brains and our bodies. And sales psychology is going to help us harness the power of words. Let's dig in. All right, here we go. 4 no-brainer offer tactics. You guys, tactics, I'm just going to be honest, tactics for free. This is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this is how much I want you to succeed, right? And here's the thing, as we walk through these, if you don't know how to apply these, if you can't figure out how to implement them yourself, you have everything you need to go out and do this yourself. But if you would like help doing that, I want you to reach out to me because we can definitely help you make sure these work for you. All right, so we are going to do a little word power exercise. This particular exercise is from Jim Edwards. He is one of the original ClickFunnels copywriters. He is amazing. He's a genius. He's pretty funny too. So this is when I first experienced the power of words. So I want you to picture this. Make sure. Okay. I want you to picture a bug. And honestly, if you have a piece of paper available to you, I have a napkin. I would love for you to draw a bug that you absolutely hate, right? A bug that you absolutely hate. Honestly, mine would be a spider, right? A spider's just heebie-jeebie me out, right? They have all their beady little eyes. You know, some of them you can actually see their pinchers, right? But you'd actually draw this out on a piece of paper. If you don't have a piece of paper and pen with you, that's okay. I do want you to visualize it, right? Now I want you to take this, wad it up or tear it up into little pieces. Once again, think about it in your mind. I want you to stomp on it, like stomp on the bug, like squish it. Okay. Now I want you to think of a food that you absolutely hate. Same thing. Draw it on here, right? Is it lima beans? Is it Brussels sprouts? Is it what food do you absolutely hate? And like when you think about it, it kind of makes you want to vomit. What absolutely grosses you out? Mine isn't so much of food. And I know this is kind of, we'll be vulnerable here. Mine is hair. I can't stand like it makes me gag, like hair in a drain, hair in a brush. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Okay, so you have it, same thing, wad it up, tear it up, throw it on the ground, stomp on it. Like get rid of it. Just ugh. That's the emotion that's behind it, right? Now, I want you to picture your mom or someone you love, right? Someone who's near and dear to you, who gives you the warm fuzzies when you think about them. You know, if you can draw them, this is even better. The more physical and tangible this is, the more effective this is, right? If you can draw a picture of your mom, or maybe just, you know, a smiley face that represents her with a heart, right? Someone who you love, adore, and respect here. Doesn't matter. It could be your dad, it could be your mom. Mom is usually the one that works best, but maybe it's grandma. I want you to do the same thing that we've done with the other two. I want you to tear it up. I want you to wad it up, throw it away. I want you to stomp on it. Like, it's so repulsive. How many of you couldn't do it? I couldn't do it. When I did this exercise, I couldn't do it. And that's when my first recognition of, holy moly, words are connected to emotion, right? Buyers purchase, we talked about this last time, based on emotion, and then they justify it with logic. Emotion is the first buying trigger. So we need to inspire emotions when we want our audience, of what we want our audience to feel, right? We want people to feel good and look good, the 6 core human needs. Okay, this is a different masterclass from the past. We talk about the 6 core human needs and how when we talk about our product, we need to be making sure that we are connecting our product and what we offer, our solution, to one of the 6 core human needs. If we are fulfilling one of the 6 core human needs, people are compelled to buy. Okay, we can talk about that another time and how to do that. There are tactics. Okay, so no-brainer offer tactics. Number one, we're talking about word pictures because our brains experience words as images. There's actually only about 1% of the population who cannot picture something when they think of it. That is a thing, but most of us think in words as images. So the imagination in our brains is our brain's native language, and that's why we ultimately picture things. Here's the biggest, powerful, most amazing thing. Thoughts can alter our body chemistry. Thoughts can release dopamine, serotonin, and other happy neurotransmitters. Just thoughts. That's why meditation is so powerful. That's why reprogramming our minds for success is so powerful. It actually changes our body chemistry. This is a whole nother masterclass where we talk about how we can make sure that we are doing that the right way for our customers, our prospective customers. So I want you to create word pictures by using descriptions that are connected with the 5 senses. So the more you can talk about what people hear, what people see, what the smell is, what the touch is, what the taste is, the better you're going to be able to convert those sales. So that you need to be talking about that and connecting with that in your marketing, in your content, and your sales conversations. If you're doing sales conversations, right? You may not be. If you're doing an online digital automated system, you're not doing the actual speaking, but your content better be doing that. And what do I mean by that? Well, we want to be connecting with people. We want to be connecting people with the 5 senses with the results of our product, right? We also want to talk about the impact and the negativity of what happens if they don't make the transformation, if they don't, what is the emotional impact if they don't choose to make the change and invest in our product? What's the cost of that? But what is it like if they do? Let's paint the picture for them. Now, this right here, okay, this could be in the context of, let's say you're a travel agent. Maybe, I mean, this particularly was in the context of artwork, right? So a beach painting description, a description of your work. You're talking about how when you look at the piece of artwork, you can hear the waves, you can smell the ocean, you can feel the cold water. And you have to feel it when you're expressing it. And I know this is probably something that a lot of you think is kind of woo-woo, but when you are feeling those emotions, when you are creating your content, you are using quantum physics to send that energy through your content. I know we won't get into the all science woo-woo of it, but I want you to think about that. Okay. You need to be in the right frame of mind and energy when you are out here engaging with your clients, creating content, making offers. Every time you look at this, beach, whatever, you'll be back on the perfect seaside vacation. You can already smell the ocean air and hear the waves rolling onto the soft sand. That is one of my favorite things. Like when you're driving to the beach and you literally, it just hits you and you're like, oh my gosh, I can smell the ocean. Did you know that if you just think that, you can bring that back? That's what artwork can produce for you. That is the benefit of having artwork, right? There's a lot more benefits, but that's okay. Another word picture example, right? Soothing, calming artwork. So you're going to love how peaceful you'll feel when you look at this above your desk every day. The stress and craziness of your busy workday will melt away every time you see it. Once again, we're talking in the context of artwork. But what if you were talking about somebody finding their perfect home? What if you were talking about all the security and serenity and calm, just relief even that people will feel when they have the right insurance? Think how fulfilling, think how proud your buyer will feel, right? When they finally learn how to play the guitar and they can go to, an event and sit down with their friends by the campfire, everybody's having a glass of wine and they get to play the guitar. Maybe they want to perform maybe they want to perform as part of the worship band at church and they've always wanted to do something like that. Tap into those emotions, word pictures. Number 2, visual aids. This is our no-brainer offer tactic number 2. We have 22 times the number of nerves in our eyes that connect to the way our brains process versus our ears. That means visuals are so much more powerful. Again, why I loved being an artist. Sideline, right? But demo. Show people the impact of what your product does. In this case, I'm talking about art, but what are the real life impacts of what your product does? If you're selling a house, are you going to show a really happy client, like with their sold sign, whatever it is? A visual is 22 times more effective than just telling people. Our brains are literally wired for stories. We talked about this before. Stories activate 7 different regions of our brain. So when we're just hearing data and information, like right now, what I'm doing with you, we're only activating 2 regions of our brain. If I was able to deliver all of this training in the context of a story, which I would love to, but I don't have that ability at this moment, it helps you visualize and empathize because you start identifying with the character. And the brain does not differentiate between what's real and imagined. This is from masterclass number 2, when we're talking about the power of setting our goals. Okay, we also talked about this in the 4 C's to Summit, the 4 base camps. The power of visualization and the emotional connection. If we can create those stories around our clients who've been successful, or if you don't have clients yet, stories around your stories of what your experience was before and after, right? Okay, let's apply the story formula. I want you to start with the end in mind. What do you want your customer to walk away with? So especially in the context of putting content out there in the world, right? How do you want your customer to feel by the end of the story? And the framework for that story is the journey, the challenge, the resolution. So here's a visual of that. This is a whole nother masterclass, a whole nother masterclass when we're talking about the story arc, right? This is about making our customer the champion. It's not about us, it's about them, the result that they want, right? So, where your champion is now, this was the example with your art, meaning something's missing from their life, but that's for any product. You can put any product down here, right? Without blank, without a home to live, without guitar skills, without the right insurance, without, right, something is missing in their lives. Now, of course, the content that we create needs to address how aware they are of that problem. That's a whole nother training. But all the things that are getting in their way of getting over here, can you tell a story that shows them how they can get through all of the trail blockers that are getting in their way of looking and feeling good, of having the ultimate desire? What are all the things that are getting in the way of them having the perfect insurance policy? What are all the things that are getting in the way of then being able to travel abroad without a bunch of hiccups, right? Or what if this goes wrong? Are they prepared? That's the context of a story formula and how powerful it is. So, hey, hi, this is if you are messaging someone that you don't know. This is like a cold DM message, right? Hey, I noticed your comment on how much you liked my blank, or, your comment on my blump. I like to include a visual. So I like to snapshot, like screenshot what that post was they commented on, right? Hey, I really appreciate it when peeps share their good art vibes with me, or whatever it is your people are sharing with you. Thank you for that. So what kind of space could you see this in fitting best, right? That's in the context of artwork. So whatever your product is how we would customize this. So what kind of concerns do you have about blank? What were you thinking of when you thought blank, right? And then give an example of how that piece of your question, how you answered that for another customers. One of the challenges a lot of my customers face when they fall in love with a piece is finding the perfect spot for that piece. Have you ever experienced that? You ask a question that you know tends to be an objection. Then you talk about how you've resolved that objection for your clients and ask them, have they experienced that? Is that something they understand, identify with, right? We're starting to uncover their needs. We're starting to show them how we have solutions for them. Hey, I get that you want your home to be your haven, and what you're surrounded by every day is a huge part of that. Once again, this is the context of art, right? I recently helped one of my clients change the whole vibe from just meh, meh, to freaking fabulous of her office, her home, whatever. She's so happy she made the decision to go for it. That's another part of the context. I'm giving you examples of conversations that you can have that show people how you can get them through the objections that they would experience. They're trail blockers that are blocking them from getting the result that they want, what they really want. It is our job to help our customers get what they really want, whatever that goal is. You deserve a freaking fabulous space too. I'd love to do the same for you. Would you like to grab a call with me and we can talk more about how we can make that happen for you? So this would be the context of doing a custom piece of artwork for someone. It's called a commission, but fill in the blanks of what that would be for you. Maybe you do have an automated sales system, but maybe someone still has questions. Hey, yeah, you totally deserve to have this work for you. Got to make sure that's still working. Would you like to grab a call? Do you have any questions I can answer? You don't have to do a call if you don't want to, but you get my point. Okay, trial closes. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. What are trial closes? This was something I learned from one of my 5-figure investments that I made in training. But, every time you do something like that, you get some nuggets. So this was one of them. This is one of the best things I've ever learned. Trial closes. This is sales psychology. So our customers have a lot of things going on in their lives. They can be easily distracted and not completely tuned into the conversation. This may be happening to you at this moment, right? We've been on here a long time. Trial closes. Research shows that our brains can only focus on one thing at a time. One thing. So we can keep our customers' attention and focus on the conversation by asking them questions. Whoop, brings them back in. Brings them back in. There's 2 types of trial closes. 2 types. One is an open loop, right? An open loop, it keeps a trial close opens a loop. That's what I'm trying to say. It keeps them focused and engaged. Our minds are naturally wired to find a solution. It's like we almost can't help ourselves. So when your brain is thinking about the answer to a question, it can't entertain anything else. So if we're asking the right questions, we're actually helping break down the objections that they have. We're helping them work through those trail blockers. So the 2 types of trial close questions. I told you this is a meaty training, you guys. If you want to be able to know how to do this again for your own business, please reach out to me. We can do private coaching. This is not something that I necessarily expect people to be able to go out there and apply just immediately and get it right. But if you can take this content, you have everything you need. Go out and do it. I would love nothing more for you to let me know. Oh my gosh, Shauna, that free masterclass that you offered me on designing a no-brainer offer totally changed my business. I would love that. Okay. Open-ended questions. Gauge where your customer is on the closing scale before you post these questions. And you need to handle objections before they pop up at the very end when you're like ready to, hey, give me the credit card, right? Examples of open-ended questions. Always want to make sure that you have examples. So what are your thoughts about blank? That is such an easy one, you guys. Anybody can ask that. What do you think? This is in context of art. What do you think about the colors? About how long have you been looking for a piece of artwork? That anything that fill in the blank. About how long have you been looking for blank a home that you really love? About how long have you been looking for, right? What have you tried so far? Where have you shopped? What have you tried so far that hasn't worked? What didn't work? These are super powerful. These questions here, I just want you to know these closing questions. People pay $5,000 for this content. This content is super valuable. The sales training that you are getting is super powerful. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It is a formula. It is a framework. It's proven to work. Okay. Here are number 2. These are simpler questions. These are questions that your audience or your prospective buyer is going to say yes to. So you can put these out in like the bigger context, right? It doesn't have to be in a direct conversation. You can put these out in the bigger context of your social media is where they're really powerful. The more our brains think about art and contemplates a behavior, the more likely it will take action. So 10 yeses. If you can get someone to nod their head or say, yes, I agree, or click on it, like, yes, that's me. Even if they just think it, they're 80% more likely to purchase. Wow. The more yeses you can get someone to say, right? Wouldn't you love to have blah, 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 blah? Say yes. Say yes if you'd like this. Say yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Examples of trial closes, right? Pretty easy, right? If you're having conversation for some, ready for some fun. Who isn't ready for some fun? You know, does walking in the room, does walking in a room you love make you feel fantastic? Yes. Okay, we're talking in the context of interior design or artwork there, but you can change this to apply to yours, right? If you, I've got blank for you, sounds good, or do you want it? Ready for a sneak peek? Yeah, I want a sneak peek. Who doesn't want a sneak peek? Okay. Number 5, we're on the last one here. 3, offer game changers. This is super powerful. Number 1, increase the perceived value of what you're offering. This is where you're tapping into logic and reason and certainty, right? Now remember, the decision to buy is initially made emotionally, but when people are looking for logic and reasons to justify that emotional decision, you got to make sure you have that included in your offer. So the idea is to position your product as a completely logical and most sensible choice. It's the last step in your brain's decision making process. Last step. That means you don't start with this. That means you don't lead with this when you're in your offer. This is what you deliver towards the end. If you're in a conversation, or if you're texting, or if you're creating content, or maybe you're doing a webinar. Okay. What makes it easier or simpler for your customer to get or use your product? Right? Quick, simple, easy, big value. That's the logic that we're looking for. What truly adds to the dollar value of what they're purchasing? Make sure your customer understands the value of what's included. Sometimes we include like bonuses and all these free things, but if they don't understand the value of what you're giving them, it doesn't have a context. So it doesn't meet that logical need, right? It doesn't match up, doesn't fulfill that. So here are some increasing the perceived value methods, right? Game changer number 1, increase the perceived value. You can create an offer stack, free gifts and bonuses, and compared value. We just kind of broke those down a little bit. Get the values of each item and the benefit. What's the benefit of the bonus you're giving them, the gift you're giving them? Are you giving them a $50 gift card for Olive Garden? Great. Okay, they see the dollar amount. What's the benefit? So they can treat, right? Treat their grandkids to, their favorite pasta. So they can. The benefit, super, super important. Offer stack examples. This is built out for an artist. But if you need help with an offer stack for what you offer, we can do that for you. These are just examples of an offer stack that an artist could create. Okay. Increase perceived value number 2, free gifts and bonus examples, right? That was, we right here, free gifts and bonus examples. Gifts with purchase, discount coupon, gift certificates toward a next purchase, right? Repeat customers, repeat buyers, right? Sneak preview event, VIP priority access at a next sales event, once again in the context of artists, but what could you give someone VIP priority access to? Elite club status. Maybe they get an annual holiday gift if they're, become part of the membership. Number 3, compared values. So a bouquet of fresh flowers, this is in the context of an artwork. A bouquet of fresh flowers you're going to spend $100 to $150 on a really nice bouquet of flowers, and it's only going to last like 5 days. Yeah, they're going to love it, but it doesn't last as long as a piece of artwork, which is basically flowers that never wilt. You're going to spend $250 on, an 11 by 14, but they get to enjoy it forever. It's even something they can pass on. Right? Artwork, we're talking about the comparison between mass-produced, low-quality, commonplace reproductions versus of one-of-a-kind, custom, heirloom, premium quality. How can you compare the value of what you offer to what else is out there on the marketplace? Okay, game changer number 2, eliminate the risk, right? The snake. Let's shut the snake down. Let's satisfy the snake, right? Tapping into certainty and security. How can it not be a scary decision anymore? Our brains are wired to avoid risk. What can we do to eliminate and reduce the risk, anxiety, and build trust? Make purchasing your product a wise and safe decision. A human core need is certainty and security. How can we meet that core human need with our product, with our offer? Right? 5, eliminating the risk methods, guarantee, no catch, social proof. Those are testimonies, social proof. Low risk entry investment, FAQ section for all the questions that they have that you can answer for them. These right here are super powerful if you have an automated sales system. And one email they're getting social proof, and the next email they're seeing the comparison of what a low risk entry investment it is. For example, the product that I always share with you, the opportunity that you have the opportunity to be part of a digital online business where there's huge growth potential in the sales market. It's a super low investment. You can get your return on investment if you only sell one of them for 100% profit, because it's your very own business, right? Okay, you guys, I know. You're like, oh my gosh, Shauna, I want out. You might need to break this up into 2 sessions. This is a pretty hefty piece of content. Training. Okay, eliminate the risk method, guarantee examples, 100% satisfaction guarantee, no mistakes, try for 7 days. You can do a trial, right? What are ways that you can do a no risk offer? Can you give someone a trial run, right? No catch, right? Our brains are always looking for the catch. That sounds too good to be true. Sounds fantastic. What's the catch, right? I'm happy to book a free consultation. This is once again for the context of artwork. Absolutely no obligation to buy, right? My goal is to help you blank the solution that you want to have. It's totally okay if it doesn't work for you. Let's just explore it. No obligation, no hard feelings. My goal is for you to get whatever it is you want. This may not be the right fit. Let's chat about it. Let's make sure it's the right fit, right? Social proof, we're breaking down all of the ones that I just listed back here, right? 80% of buyers are influenced by social proof when they purchase. If you have other people saying, oh my gosh, I loved working with such and such, they made it so easy. Oh my gosh, before it was this, now it's this. Whew, do it, right? Low risk entry investment. Low risk entry investment can be a free lead magnet. What can you offer someone complimentary? I'm practicing what I'm preaching here, guys, right? Did any of you invest in this training, in this really powerful, valuable training? No, because I want you to understand the value of what it is I can help you with. I'm giving you a free lead magnet. It's a low entry investment. You're getting value content here, right? Or you can offer like a lower priced entry offer product as a test drive, or maybe you can come up with a payment plan. That's another way. They're like, well, I don't have all that money up front. Okay, well, I can break this up into 3 payments for you. Or it's something that you pay for monthly. You don't pay for it all at once. Examples, right? FAQ section, create a list of the most commonly asked questions. Questions are always objections, right? These are always things that they want to know the answer to. Sometimes they're too embarrassed to ask them. So an FAQ on your website or on content that you deliver can be super helpful. They can get their answers without bothering you or without being embarrassed, right? Okay, game changer number 3. We're at the end here. We are at the end, guys. We are getting ready to close this down. You got to create urgency. And one of the best ways to create urgency is tapping into FOMO and scarcity. Now, in order for these to work, you can't be manipulating people. They have to be an honestly true urgency and scarcity. You can't say, hey, I only have one of these and it sells, and then the next day you have another one to sell. Can't do that, right? You have to follow through on whatever it is you're putting out there that you're promoting. So for an artist, the context here, right? Creating urgency, limited time deadline. So the offer ends, right? This offer is only available. It's a flash sale, 24 hours, right? Whatever, limited availability. If you're an artist, you can produce limited reproduction prints. They're numbered. I only have 15 of them. Once they're gone, they're gone. They'll never be available again. Do you have a way to offer that? Are you offering a product where you know the price is going up and you're like, yeah, no, you need to get in now because I know the price is increasing. The next time this is out there, it's going to be this much. Regularly, it's this much. But right now, if you make the decision and you pay in full, you get it for this much. I'm just making stuff up, but you get the idea. Game changer number 3, creating urgency. Urgency challenges. Here's when urgency doesn't work. It won't work if your who, what, and how isn't simple. This was actually another training, right? Who is this for? What it is, and how it's going to help me, how it's going to solve my problem. If those are not clear, urgency isn't going to work. None of these will work. None of the game changers will work, right? It has to be super easy for them to take action. They must know exactly what they're getting with the offer. Now keep in mind, all the features are not what sells it. That's the logic, right? But they must understand the benefit of what it is they're going to get when they purchase. And you don't want to just overload them with information, okay? Make sure that you have a strong why, meaning, and this is another training, the 4 decision-making styles. There are 4 different kinds of personalities when it comes to buying. Make sure that when you are putting your offer out there, that it covers all 4 of these decision-making process styles. If you want to know more about that, that is inside the program that I work with you, right? It's part of your masterclass training. Make sure your why is relevant and applies to your audience. It's got to be one of their whys. It can't be just your why. And what will they get? What's in it for them? Are you tying the 6 core human needs with your why? Are you fulfilling the 6 core human needs with why they want to invest in your product? Another way urgency won't work if you haven't built the rapport. If you have not nurtured them and you're going out there and you're like, hey, this is da 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 da, just hand over $5,000. Just giving you an example. They're not going to do it if they don't trust you. Heck, with all the stuff that's out there and the scams that are out there, people aren't going to do that for even $25 anymore. You need to have rapport with your audience. They must know, like, and trust you before they're going to make any purchase, especially a large purchase. All right, this is part of our map that we go through. That doesn't actually relate to it as much, but all right. So we did the 4 truth bond sales statistics. You got a no reframe. We talked about the 5 tactics to design a no-brainer offer, and I helped you understand the power of words, right? And you got 3 offer game changers in this training. It was a lot. It was a lot. I know. So I'm going to stop sharing. Let's hop back over here. I hope that was helpful to you. I know it is helpful, and a lot of this, you can take this training and pull it apart step by step, right? So watch part of it, process it, like, okay, wait, how does that apply to my business? Like I said, you can do this. You can implement this all on your own. If you would like help with this, let me know. I have 2 private coaching packages that I offer. I call it the fast and the slow, right? One is a 6-month coaching package That's where you get all the masterclass training that we were talking about, all of the master classes. Plus, you get to meet with me every week for an hour, just one-on-one, right? Or you can take, if you need the slower method, that's where you get all the masterclass training, and then we meet once a month. And every time you walk away with basically a checklist of, okay, here's where I'm at, here's what I need to get done before I meet. Okay, let's evaluate. How did we do on that? Okay, well, then we need to do this, this, this. It is designed to make sure that it works exactly for you and your business, and it covers every single part of your business. We make sure your strategies are correct. We make sure that you're using really efficient systems that we call wash, rinse, and repeat, right? That where you're out there and you know what you're supposed to be doing every day. You're not wondering, okay, shoot, what am I supposed to be doing today? What would be? Nope, we got all that, right? We're making sure that we have email systems. We're making sure that we have point of sale purchase. We're making sure that we even have systems for the content that we're delivering and tools to make sure that we're delivering it so we're not tied to our computers every day. We're making sure that we have the right tools to deliver on the product that your client is purchasing. And we want to make sure you have the skills if you are offering a product where it is a one-on-one sales conversation. Do you know the formula for having a correct sales conversation that's going to walk someone through the sales path so it's a no-brainer for them where they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm ready. Let's do this. It's one of the masterclass trainings. Okay. I can't express this enough how much I want you to have success. So, if you want to know more about having an online digital business that is automated, that is 100% profit, that gives you everything you need, all of the systems, all of the strategies, all of the training is built in, plus it's a pre-built tech part of it. All the tech part is pre-built. The funnel's built. The email campaign is built. All of that stuff is all you do is connect the buttons, right? If you're like, yeah, but Shauna, you talked about having a domain. What's a domain? How do I do that? That's part of it too. You get all of that information. It is a business in a box, a complete business in a box kit that you cannot fail. And here's the thing. What I love about it is you can sell when you invest in this $900 product, which is the digital business that I'm talking about, you actually get 4 different products to sell. You have a $600 product, a $300 product, and a $100 product on top of the 900. So you have 4 different streams of income by investing in one online business blueprint company. And it's your company, 100% profit. Cannot express enough how powerful it is to have an online income that you can work when you want, where you want, and you could still do this if you can't quit your 9 to 5 yet, right? If you still need the 9 to 5, you can still do this business and have a 6-figure income coming in until you are ready to quit that, until you are ready to let go of that. And you could keep doing this after. Heck, this is an amazing retirement income opportunity. A couple hours a day devoted to making sure everything is functioning in this online business. And you're golden, you're set. With everything you need, the tactics, the strategies, and the systems, and the tools and automations to make it go. That's why it works for you 24/7 instead of you working 24/7. It's doing the work behind the scenes. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you guys for being here. Post your questions. Please like and subscribe. If this was helpful to you, I really want to hear it. I want to know how this was helpful to you. So make sure you put it in the comments. If you would like more info, type info on the online business. If you would like to know about the private coaching packages that come with the masterclass that we just walked through, type private, and I will make sure to give you the information so that we can connect one-on-one and you get your digital blueprint, whatever it is that you need. All right, take care. Bye, guys.